The morning breaks, the shadows fall, the trumpet's call is loud for all. A battle's brewing, can't you see? Good and evil, eternity. The wind is howling, the ground it shakes, but faith in Him will never break. It's time to stand up and fight. The battle is raging day and night. Put on the armor, don't delay. Stand strong in the faith, come what may. The breastplate gleams, the helmet shines, the shield of truth protects our mind. Sword in hand, His word our guide. We march with courage, side by side. It's time to stand up and fight. The battle is raging day and night. Put on the armor, don't delay. Stand strong in the faith, come what may. When the darkness tries to steal your name, remember His power, it stays the same. Though storms may rise and the heavens roar, the victory's won It's time to stand up and fight. The battle is raging day and night. Put on the armor, don't delay. Stand strong in the faith, come what may. It's time to stand up and fight. The battle is raging day and night. Put on the armor, don't delay. Stand strong in the faith, come what may.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ARP in the morning. Appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. I hope all is well with you guys. Grace and peace to each and every one of you guys on this fine Friday Eve. Happy Thursday to you guys, man. One day until the weekend, and it's a long weekend at that. Look at that. Look at that. Put a one in the chat if you guys can hear me okay. I want to make sure that we're not having any technical difficulties this morning. I don't think that we are, and so far things have been smooth. I got to tell you, yesterday, woo, I almost felt like I was under attack trying to get this thing started, but I think all is well this morning. I'm feeling great. Got up this morning, man. I got a good workout in. Hey, I got my boxing in today. I got this weighted jump rope, you know what I'm saying, that I'm using. And if you guys have not used the weighted jump rope is serious. It's serious. It's a real serious workout, man. What's going on, man? What's going on? What is going on? Before we get things kicked off, man, I want to show some love to my folks in the chat, but I definitely got to show some love to the folks that started the day off with the super chats or super stickers. Shout out to Eric Smith with the $4 super sticker. Shout out to Lisa Lopez with the $5 super sticker. And shout out to Vicky Ramsey with the $2 super chat. Says I like the song Ephesians chapter 6, verses 13 through 18. You're absolutely right. Hey, we are living in the last days. We are living in the last days. We are. There is so much wickedness and so much evil going on, man. I've been telling you guys this for a long time. And thank you, Carol Reyes, for noticing. Thank you. I am. I'm working out hard, man. You know, the big thing is it's not the workout piece for me. It really isn't. It's not the workout piece for me. I got a food problem, like I'm sure so many of us across the country. I got a food problem, you know. Ernest Young says, good morning, my hold up, I missed it. Hold up. That good morning, my Baltimore bro. So you rocking with the Falcons now? Can only be a fan. Can only be a fan of. Nah, I'm gonna disagree with you, bro. I told man, you might be new. I got two teams, man. I got two teams. I don't watch baseball. I don't watch basketball. You know what I'm saying? The NBA is trash. I don't deal with the NBA. I don't deal with it at all. Um, and I got two NFL teams. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the Atlanta area. You know, and I've been a Falcons fan for a long time, dating back to, you know, 96, 97, 98, in that time frame when we went to the Super Bowl. And then, you know, I've been out here in the Baltimore area since 2009. And they got one of my favorite players on the team, which is Lamar Jackson. And, you know, I always, you know, was a, you know, big fan of Ray Lewis, and I don't want anybody coming for me, you know, because of Ray Lewis's past. You know, he has repented, and he is, you know, he is really out there stumping for the Lord in these days. You know, so yeah, I have two teams: Ravens, Falcons. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But back to what I was saying. Um, we're living in some perilous times right now, to be honest with you. And you know, I've been telling people for a long time, man, you have to make sure that you put on the full armor. You got to put on the full armor. You have to. And honestly, I think you should have a sword as well. Um, I'm just saying. There are a lot of people out there that want to persecute those of us that are followers of Christ. That just is what it is. You know, so I think all Christian institutions out there, they should have armed security. They should have armed security. I also think that there should be parishioners within these churches and within these, you know, within these, you know, places of worship. That I think those folks should be armed as well. And we can't be out here turning the other cheek and coming across as soft. We just can't. How many times does this have to happen before people realize and say, you know what? Yeah, even at church, you should be armed. When you go to worship, you should be armed. I'm just saying. I'm sure there's some people in the chat that's going to disagree with me, but hey, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I think there should be a multitude of people right there armed. And we're going to do the right things, right? You know what I'm saying? We're not going to brandish, we're not going to flash, but it's better to have and not need than need and not have. In this situation that happened yesterday, it's very, very wicked. Very wicked. How do you go to a school and shoot up a school and kill two young people? I mean, this is awful, man. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into it today. Hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. I appreciate everybody that has kicked things off, you know, with a super chat, super sticker. Yeah, this particular stream is not going to be monetized just because of where we're going with this. You know, yeah, the powers that be, it is what it is. So, you know, your support definitely will be greatly appreciated. I appreciate you guys. You know, but hey, the only cost to admission is to hit that daggone like button. That is what it is. You know, hit that like button for me. We're going to show some love to my folks in the chat before we get things kicked off. As always, y'all know how we do. Shout out to Zephyr K9 and shout out to B as well. You know, my blues. And I didn't see Lori Otteson in here, but B, were you able to make Lori Otteson a moderator? Were you able to do that, or is that something that I needed to do? just let me know. If so, I'll jump in there and I'll make it happen. I'll make it happen today. Shout out to Lisa Lopez. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Appreciate you pulling up. Shout out to Toy Mafia and Cool Ramon. We got the variant in the building. Shout out to you. Kenneth Williams in the building. Shout out to you. What's going on? Angela Montgomery. Yeah, 3-day weekend is near. Y'all make sure y'all be safe out there, especially if you're out there in the Chicagoland area. It seems like every time there is a 3-day weekend, these folks act like they don't know how to act. You know what I'm saying? Certain places, they might just need to start revoking the 3-day weekends. Nah, that's not right, because there are a lot of good folks out there, man, that enjoy it, and they deserve that day off. Excuse me. Shout out to Fred. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. And I appreciate the comment as well. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Eric said he got his Tens mushroom coffee ready. All right, now, yeah, I just finished my cup. You know, I can't drink, while I'm doing this, because I just can't. Shout out to Lori Addison. Lori, we are going to make you a mod today, just so you know. Appreciate what you do. Appreciate you pulling up and doing what you do for the channel. So I definitely appreciate that. So I'm not sure if B can make it happen, but if she can't, I will make it happen today. All right. Shout out to Amber Young. What's going on, LJ? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Appreciate you pulling up. We got Marla in the building. Shout out to you. Who else we got up in here? Let's see. As we scroll through. What's going on, Melissa? How you doing? Honolulu, Hawaii in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Maga Tamara in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. We got, is it Rob? How do you say that? Is that DeCharm? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that properly. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. Mr. Largy in the building. What's going on, Malachi? How you doing this morning? Peace and blessings to you. Hope all is well. Out there at the Waffle House out in Ohio. That's hands down one of my favorite restaurants. We don't have a Waffle House on this side of things. We do have them in Maryland, but you got to drive an hour in either direction to get to a Waffle House. Where we live at in the Baltimore area, we don't have any Waffle Houses out here. But every time I go home, every time I go down to Atlanta, or honestly, just down south in general, I got to get my Waffle House feel. I got to. What's up, Donald Lovejoy? How you doing this morning, brother? We got Robert Dalton in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. Cooley Bordeaux. Appreciate you pulling up. Mark Galvin. Appreciate you pulling up. Queen Chloe. How you doing this morning? What's going on? We got, is it KK Montero? Hopefully I pronounced that properly. Appreciate you pulling up. What up, Playboy Billy? Appreciate you pulling up this morning, brother. What's going on, Billy W? We got Kenneth Williams in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. All right. We got Eric Simon in the building out of Beaufort, Georgia. Hey, man. Y'all might have one of the best football stadiums in the state of Georgia. That is like on some, y'all are almost like Texas out there. If y'all don't know anything about Georgia football, it's serious. But Beaufort and up in that area, man, them folks done put some money in that daggone stadium. Goodness gracious. What's going on, Vernon? How you doing? Woodbridge, Virginia in the building. Okay, I see you. You're not too far away. We got Marcy Richards in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Oh, yeah. Who else we got up in here this morning? All right. We got Donna Whittle. Appreciate you pulling up out of Alabama. Jane Fecto. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Appreciate you. I cannot pronounce. Is that Diala Cliche? Hopefully I pronounced that right. Out of Myrtle Beach. Appreciate you pulling up. We got Terry Cisco. Appreciate you pulling up. Appreciate you. Soul Driver in the building. What up, Steve Edminster? Appreciate you pulling up. Buffalo in the house. Shout out to you. Yeah, Ravens, Buffalo. First game of the season next week. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. I'll be down in Atlanta. I'm going to the Falcons game, Falcons Bucks. So I'm looking forward to that as well. I like to go to opening day. I'll be at the Ravens game opening day as well. The following week, play the Browns. I'll be there as well. You know, I like opening day. Opening day is always fun. Always. All right. We got Vivian in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. We got Rock Transformed out of Central Texas in the house. And I think somebody had mentioned that it was LJ's birthday. I think it is. Is that accurate? Somebody let me know in the chat. I think it was LJ's birthday. I think so. I could be wrong. Maybe it's over the weekend, but somebody let me know in the chat. We got Selena Puckett in the building. Shout out to you. Krista Knight in the building. Appreciate you pulling up. All right, Mama 1961. What's going on? Kentucky in the house. What up, Carol Reyes? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. All right, Ronald Coe in the building. Appreciate you pulling up. Brian Gable in the house. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Papa Dodd in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Guitar Builder. Okay, that's what's up. Appreciate you pulling up. What up, Quincy James? How you doing this morning? Larry Montgomery in the building. Shout out to you. Yeah, we got Crowley, Texas in the building. I see you, LJ. All right, we got Harness 84. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's going on, Hunter? How you doing this morning? Did I miss the Bible verse? Did I? I hope not. You know, Hunter always comes through with the Bible verse of the day, but I don't see it. I know I didn't miss it. I'm gonna scroll back up to see if I. All right, so everybody can hear me good. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Oh, LJ's birthday weekend. Okay, I see you. Y'all make sure y'all show LJ some love. I will make a note of that so we can remind. So I can make sure, you know, my panel folks and everything. You know, we got the panel show happening tomorrow. So I'll make sure that we, you know, make sure we show you some love tomorrow. But for those of you guys that aren't going to be here tomorrow, y'all make sure y'all show LJ some love. What's up, Jasmine? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. We got Katrina in the building. Appreciate you pulling up. William Hopkins. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. What up, Mike C? How you doing this morning? We got RJ Hudson in the building. Shout out to you. Carol Reyes said, yeah, you're getting slimmer. Shows in your face and your stomach. Thank you. Thank you, Carol. Thank you. The biggest issue though, when it comes to this, it's not the workout piece. I love working out. I really do. I have to work out. I need it. If I don't feel great that day. So I really enjoy the workout. I got a food problem, man. I like to eat like everybody else. But I'm working on that though. I'm working on it for sure. I'm definitely working on it. We got Ashy Knuckles in the building. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you pulling up. I'm working on it, man. But hey, I feel like every man, and I talked about this yesterday. I was on a live stream. I was on the X-Ray podcast yesterday. We're actually going to have, I believe we're going to have Julio jump on the panel tomorrow. Hopefully that will work that out. But I was talking about that, man. I think every man should be able to throw punches for at least a minute. You should be able to run a mile without stopping. I don't care how long it takes you, but without stopping and walking, you should be able to run a mile. And if you can actually run it, you should be able to run it between 10 to 12 minutes. You know, you should be able to do those things. You know, if you carry a firearm, you should hit the range at least once, maybe twice a week. Once, maybe twice a month. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that you are familiarized with the tool that you carry. Basic things. And lifting wise, you know, you should be able to, at minimum, do, you know, I would say maybe 15 push-ups straight up, you know, almost lift your body weight, or at least be able to lift 225 pounds. I feel like you should be able to do that as a man. You should. You know, ladies, I'm not going to get on y'all. I'm not going to speak, you know, on what I think y'all should do. But I'm just speaking to the fellas. You know, these are things that I think you should be able to do. Hey, if the lights ever go out, you don't want to be like, oh man, I got to get my life together. I got to start getting in shape. It's too late. Oh man. What's up, Todd? How's it going this morning, man? Appreciate you pulling up. Ernest Young, appreciate you pulling up. Who else? I want to make sure. Southern Grandma, appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, man. All right, we got Christine. Is it Christine? Mine. Hopefully I pronounced that properly. Appreciate you. What up, Charlie Parker? How's it going this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Quincy said, yeah, food is good. Yeah. And you know, during the summer months, man, you getting invited to cookouts and barbecues and all this other kind of stuff, man. And we had the family reunion in July. And yeah, man, it's tough. Summers are tough. They really are. They really are. Hey, Queen Chloe, hey, y'all know I done picked up this pickleball thing now. If you know anything about pickleball, that's a workout in itself. Pickleball, it's fun, but it's also a really good workout, man. I'll be in that joint dripping sweat. What's up, Timothy Rickner? How's it going, man? We got Barbara Burtz in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. But hey, man, you got to stay active, man. My uncle always says, a body in motion stays in motion. He always says that. He's a body in motion stays in motion. My grandma is 82 years old, and she just had a hip replacement about 2 months ago at this point, but she's already up, moving around and things of that nature. But prior to having that, she was still riding her bike, still getting up in the morning, going to the gym 3-4 days a week, still getting out there, getting her steps in. She's walking, getting 6,000 to 7,000 steps a day, and she was in her 80s. You know what I'm saying? And I see older people in the gym. I have Mr. West and Mr. Crosby and those guys, man, in their 70s, still getting it. Here, my young behind. Why? Hey, if they can do it, I can get up and do it. Mr. West in the gym. I think Mr. West is 76, in the gym 6 days a week, getting it. Getting it. So I suggest, man, if you have not started some form of, workout regimen, even if that means you're just getting out and walking, go walk. Start with a walk, 30, 35, 45 minutes a day. Even that much, man, it's good for your mind. It's good for your body. It's good for your soul. It helps to, to get mental clarity. It's huge, man. It's huge. Marcia Risher said, yes, food problem here. I love the Yeah. North Memphis said, Ravens hat and Falcons, you're committing some type of crime. How? They're not in the same division. They're not even in the same conference. And they rarely play each other. So, nah, we good. We are good. It's so rare that they play each other. They'll never meet each other in the playoffs. The only time they would actually meet in the playoffs would be Super Bowl. And if you know anything about the Falcons, the Falcons we ain't made the playoffs since 2017. So, yeah. Yeah. Mike C said, yeah, the struggle is real, with maintaining a healthy diet. Yeah, it is. It really is. And, everything in moderation, right? Everything in moderation. But we're going to get the show started, man. Appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. I think I do have some, what's up, Amethyst Angel? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Lisa said, don't eat at the Edgewood Waffle House. Okay. I'm normally not in Edgewood when I go down to Georgia. I normally don't go on that side of things too tough. I grew up on the east side. My parents, they all live out in Rockdale County. Well, my parents live out in Rockdale County. My brother lives out in DeKalb County. So I'm typically, when I am out there, I'm typically out east, outside of going to games and stuff like that. Obviously, you got to go downtown for that. Yeah, I'm typically not on that side of things, typically. But yeah, appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you all pulling up. I got a couple super chats I want to read real quick before we get started. All right. LJ said, thank you for the $2 super chat. Says on the light bill. Hey man, shine on. Appreciate that. Shout out to Mike C with the $2 super chat. Says, always a good day with the ARP fam. Appreciate you. And shout out to is it Big Mo and Eyes? Thank you for gifting 5 ARP family memberships. We got to dance on that. Appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate that. What's up, Marla? Appreciate the $5 super chat. Happy birthday, LJ. All right now. Hey, LJ, don't go too hard over the weekend, okay? I know Crystal from Crystal Beyond Labels. I know she told you got to celebrate for the month. Just don't go too hard. I know some of y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all go too hard. Shout out to Amethyst Angel with the $20 super chat. Says, Where are the studies linking hormones to mental health? Ask every woman about her 28-day crazy cycle. Um, 28-day crazy cycle. Transing from male to female makes one crazy. Where are our YouTube creators who can dig up this info? Mainstream media won't. That's something to look into. Now, I will challenge you because we've had 3 of these incidents that I can think of off the top of my head. 2 of them have actually been women transition, quote unquote, transition into men, and 1 has been the opposite of that. A quote unquote male man, whatever you want to call them, transition into a female. Um, but hey, you never know. I mean, with these drugs and things of that nature, you don't know what these things, what it does, to these folks. I mean, a woman, receiving too much testosterone, what does that make her? You know, what does it make her do? Shout out to Natasha's Life with the $2 super sticker and for the second $2 super sticker. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Let's get the show started, man. Appreciate you guys, man. Hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Shout out to Errol Channer out the UK. Appreciate you. And y'all know we international over here, man. We got people that support the channel from all across the world, which is phenomenal. My grandma is so tickled. When she asks me questions about what we have going on over here, she is tickled. Now, mind you, not a conservative. She considers herself an independent, which I worked on that, because she did used to vote blue, and I did work on her to at least go independent. So she is not a registered Democrat. She is officially an independent, and I think she's been that now for probably about a year or 2. But she is like tickled pink, about this entire situation. All right, LJ's joining the big 4-5 club. Okay, welcome to the club. I'm 45 as well. I joined the 45 club, and yeah, it's awesome, man. It's awesome, man. Hey, we don't look like your old 45s, from back in the day. When you see someone 45 like 30 years ago, they actually looked 45 or older. you know. W Healthy Self says it's the chemicals in the food that causes people to be overweight. I'm there with you on that. I am there with you on that. Definitely there with you. And I agree with you 1000%, on that. Seriously. All right, let's get the show started, man. Hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Appreciate everybody that has supported the channel financially via a super chat, super sticker. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys a lot. Let's get the show kicked off, man. So before we go, also, obviously we're about to talk about something that's on the darker side of things, man. And I first off want to say, just thoughts, prayers, condolences to the parents and the grandparents and the aunts and the uncles that lost 2 loved ones yesterday. My thoughts, prayers, condolences, man. I can't even fathom receiving a phone call like that after I sent my kids to school. I can't even fathom, what these people are going through. And I honestly, I don't even want to try or attempt to, act like I know what these people and what these parents are going through. You send your kids thinking that they're going to be safe, especially sending them to, a Christian private school. You're sending them there assuming that they will be safe. And to receive a phone call like that, there were 2 kids that were killed, but I believe there were 14 others that, were shot, and countless of others that are going to deal with this for the rest of their lives. A lot of these young people, man, they're going to suffer from, some post-traumatic stress, for a while. And we need to not only keep the parents lifted up, but we need to keep these children lifted up in prayer as well. That PTSD does not hinder them for the rest of their lives. We got to make sure that we keep them lifted up in prayer. We got to keep the parents and the families of the people, these young people, that have lost their lives, as well as the children, that were shot, for a fast and quick recovery. But we also got to think about their mental health as well. We have to think about that. And I'm just imploring all of you guys to just make sure that we continue to, keep them in our thoughts. But really, prayer works, man. Prayer works. And we need to make sure that we continue to keep them lifted up. Seriously. Seriously. It was sad, man. This shouldn't be. We shouldn't even have to have these types of conversations, man.
What are officials saying? Because it sounds like Robin and Robert Westman, obviously two names, but one shooter using both of them, right?
Right, Jackie. This is a big update at the top of the hour. Our justice correspondent, David Spun, telling us that he's learned from his sources the identity of this shooter, a person who possibly goes by two names, Robert Westman or Robin Westman. And as Sandra mentioned, we'll have to see how city officials identify this person later on, as we expect to get more updates and news conferences. Minneapolis police last said about 2 hours ago that they were searching Westman's vehicle left behind in a nearby parking lot. Police believe the gunman fired from a rifle, shotgun, and a pistol, injuring more than a dozen and killing two children, ages 8 and 10.
It's hard to listen to. It's hard to listen to, but we got to talk about it. We got to talk about this evil, wicked, horrifying act. This is a story that, it shakes everybody. It's shaking everybody to the core. Thank you, William Williams, for the $2 super chat. Says the Dems will cancel you for offering prayer. Not worried about those devils. Not worried about those devils at all. Shout out to you, Dr. Kyla. Appreciate you pulling up. But I'm definitely not worried about those devils. Not at all. But this is a story that, even one time of having to cover it is entirely too many. These types of situations happening. And it is a story that, not only has, shaken me, but I'm sure it has shaken the nation to the core. Yesterday, Christian children, kids who were literally sitting in pews of their church, praying at a back to school service of all places, were targeted in an unthinkable act of violence. 2 children confirmed dead. Now they're saying the number is up to 17 others were injured. And, it's just crazy. 14 of the 17 that were injured are children. Two of the people still remain in critical condition at this point right now. So let's just make sure that we continue to keep these young people lifted up in prayer. And honestly, not just up in Minneapolis, because we have kids going back to school all across this nation, and we have wicked, evil people all across this nation. All across this nation. We got to make sure that we keep our children that are in these schools lifted up in prayer. Seriously. Hey, these young people, man, they were doing nothing more than practicing their faith. And they were mercilessly attacked. The shooter, this dude came armed to the teeth, rifle, handgun, shotgun. He came armed, ready to roll. And this wasn't a random act either. This was deliberate. And now we know who the shooter was. They didn't want to put this out there. They didn't want to put it out there, but this guy has been confirmed. Robert Westman. Let's just call him what his mama called him, what she named him, or his father named him. 22-year-old male. 22-year-old male who changed their name legally back in 2020 to Robin. It's crazy, man. Yeah. These are the records, man. The records show that the change was tied to their decision to identify as transgender. And already you can see what's happening. Democrat politicians, left-wing media outlets, They're all rushing to get in front of the cameras to shift the focus. They want to scream about guns. And the reality of it is that guns can't do anything by themselves. Guns can't do anything without someone standing behind that trigger. But they want to blame the guns. They want to blame automatic weapons, even though this man didn't have any automatic weapons. They want you to ignore that the shooter, they want you to ignore who he was, and they want you to ignore what this particular individual's ideology was rooted in. Jacob Frey, the super far left Democrat mayor of Minneapolis, even went so far as to suggest we shouldn't pray for the kids. I mean, these people are wicked, man. These are some wicked individuals, man. Seriously.
These were American families. And the amount of pain that they are suffering right now is extraordinary. And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church.
It just makes you wonder. You know what I'm saying? It really does. Think about that for a second. Children were literally killed while praying inside their church, and the mayor of the city is telling people not to offer prayer. I mean, this is the same guy who knelt at George Floyd's funeral, crying in front of the cameras. But when Catholic children are slaughtered, suddenly prayer is offensive to these people. I mean, this guy's a clown, man. He really is. He also declared that Minneapolis will remain a safe haven for the trans community. A safe haven. I'm not really sure exactly what that means. Really? I'm not really sure what that means, but a trans activist just walked into a church and killed kids and shot and injured a plethora of others. But we're being told not to pray. These are some very, very sick and demented individuals out there, man, in this Democrat Party.
I want all of you just to know exactly where we are as far as our neighbors go. Minneapolis will continue to be a safe haven for undocumented immigrants, for our trans community. Regardless of who you are or where you come from, Minneapolis is a place where you should be proud to call home.
All of these people have reprobate. All of them. It's almost like they're bragging. Hey, we're a safe haven, for the mentally ill. You're safe here. Tim Walz, who signed multiple laws in 2023, making Minnesota a sanctuary state for children to receive trans medical services, echoing the same sentiment. I mean, sometimes, I really do feel like, sometimes I feel like, hey, they don't want to, they don't want to actually lead the nation properly. And that's a good thing, because I'm a firm believer that, hey, when people, show you they are believers. I'm a big believer in that. When people show you who they are, you got to believe them. And the Democrat Party, not just up there in Minnesota, but all across the country, all of the media pundits, we have to believe who they are. We got to believe their language. We got to believe it.
Minnesota ranks the highest per capita for being a safe haven for transgender individuals in Minnesota. And can I just say, we can talk about economic growth and feeding children and growing the economy and creating jobs simultaneously with talking about everybody's human rights matters, and we shouldn't be demonizing that. You can do both.
Minnesota Democrats, man, hey, they just keep radicalizing people. And a lot of these folks, they're already on the edge. And at this point, man, I'm pretty much done tiptoeing around it at this point. The trans movement is grooming vulnerable, often mentally ill kids and mentally ill parents, because there's a lot of parents pushing this stupidity, filling them with drugs, hormones, and confusion. And until they're broken, enough to commit acts of violence, that's who these folks are right now. And while activists and Democrat politicians push this delusion of personal choice, the reality is it's unleashing a nihilistic wave of violence on America. A nihilistic wave of violence on America. And every time tragedy strikes, and instead of accountability, Democrats rush to exploit it with calls for more gun control before families have even buried their loved ones. You got crazy people out here running around the street armed, but they want to take law-abiding citizens' guns away. They want to take your rights away. They want to take your ability to protect yourself. These people are sick, man.
Going through your mind right now, this horrific tragedy happening the first week of school in your home state?
Having talked to one of the moms and someone I love dearly, of course, it's first those families and those kids. You think of every parent remembering putting their kid on the bus or bringing their kid to school and dropping them off on the first day. You think about the teachers and all the people that love these kids and spend their life work really helping them and protecting them and teaching them. And then this was all destroyed from one madman. We don't know the details about him. As you reported, he is dead. But more will, I'm sure, come out about his motive and why he would commit such a horrific act. It, of course, makes me think about guns and all the work we've done to ban these automatic rifles and to do something when it comes to the background checks and everything, and we keep getting thwarted. We were able to pass a limited measure on a bipartisan basis, but not enough to stop something like this. And it just makes you think about that as well without knowing the details about how he got that gun, if the gun was legal, what kind of gun it was. But it was clearly one of these automatic rifles to be able to shoot that many kids so fast.
It's not accurate. Not accurate. But Democrats are showing us who the real authoritarians are. They're showing us who the real authoritarians are. The people that want to disarm the nation are the people that when they disarm you, they will enslave you. You can't trust the party that wants to disarm its citizens. You can't trust these people. That Second Amendment is there for a reason. It's there for a reason. And you can't trust a party that is they're soft on crime. Soft on crime. And they want to disarm you. We can go down a list of there's a whole host of issues with these people, but the fact that they're soft on crime and they want to disarm you at the same time. So basically, they want to make everybody just prey to criminals and, slaves to the system. That's their goal. Because they understand, they know a disarmed population is a controllable population. They know this. They know it. Shout out to my guy over at pistyle.store. You see I'm rocking the shirt, America Forged today. Go over there and check them out, man. Appreciate you, brother. Been a member for 8 months. Shout out to you, man. Thank you very much. Shout out to Dion with the $5 super chat. Says, blaming an inanimate object for committing this heinous act is asinine. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Shout out to Amethyst Angel with the $2 super chat. Says, we're experiencing what Rome did before it fell. Yeah, you're absolutely right there. Shout out to Malachi with the $2 super chat. Says, Frey has to say that if he wants to win a third term. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I understand that. Shout out to LJ with the $10 super chat. Says, all written in the Bible, yet shocking watching it play out. These people are truly given over to a reprobate mind. Thank God for the peace the Holy Spirit brings over our minds through all of this. Absolutely. And thank you, LJ. Thank you. So after all these new laws out in Minnesota, this still happens. And shout out to my guy MJ. He's absolutely right there. Yeah, guns don't kill people. It's crazy folks with guns that do. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right there. But they don't want to mention that. They don't want to talk about that. Because the reality of it is, it's not about the gun. It's about the shooter. Now, we do know that we have a mental health crisis happening in our nation that the left seems to not want to discuss. They don't want to discuss the mental health crisis that we have in our nation. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that they condone the mental health crisis that we have in our country right now. Shout out to Hunter with the $10 super chat. Says, this is one of the many reasons why these politicians and Democrats are evil. The absolute lies she just spewed. This deranged man actually made a manifesto and posted it on YouTube trying to justify his evil. Thank you, Hunter, for the $10 super chat. And shout out to Nicole Monroe with the $5, or is it Monroe? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that properly. With the $5 super chat, says, can we now have a conversation about the mental health of the people that transition? It's obvious that other issues are going on with these people. Yeah. Yeah. We definitely should be having that conversation. But the thing is that the left don't want to have that conversation. They're not interested in having that conversation. They condone the mental health issues. They condone the mentally ill. They condone it. Matter of fact, they kind of exacerbate it. You know, again, I say it's not the gun. It's the shooter. It's the people. You can't demand gun control while pretending there's nothing wrong with the trans ideology. I mean, these kids, they've been manipulated by activists, activist parents, activist doctors, activist teachers. They've been manipulated. You have politicians like Amy Klobuchar who feed into their delusion and worsen their mental struggles. That's what fuels these tragedies. It's not the firearms. It's all of these wicked activists out there that are continuing to push this narrative. You're right. I forgot activist preachers as well. Y'all remember Bishop Buddy grandstanding for quote unquote trans kids. Y'all remember that. I forgot. I left out the preachers. There are too many of them out there. And to be honest with you, I'm sure you guys expected this narrative from the left. I'm sure you did. But I got to say that I was stunned to hear Trey Gowdy on Fox News echoing the sentiment. I was stunned. I was surprised to hear it.
Our system is reactive. Something bad happens, we react to it. And what people are crying for now is, how can we prevent this? How can we stop it? And the only way to stop it is to identify the shooter ahead of time or keep the weapons out of their hands. And so we're going to have a conversation of freedom versus protecting children. I mean, how many school shootings does it take before we're going to have a conversation?
How about we stop making schools gun-free zones for teachers, administrators, so forth and so on? It sounds like we need to invest into security at our schools. That's what it sounds like.
About keeping firearms out. It's always a young white male, almost always. I mean, did anyone this morning think, I wonder if that was a female? Did any of y'all think that? I mean, there's been one school shooting involving a female. One.
There's been two that I can think of off the top of my head. This dude's a clown. There's been two.
Yeah, Tennessee. But other than that, it is usually young white males.
There's been two. There's been two females that identified as males that committed some mass shootings. And then you got this situation that I can think of off the top of my head. But to be honest with you, we're having the wrong conversation. It's not always young white males. It's not. Some of the most recent mass shootings, they were carried out by trans-identifying individuals. Let's just keep it a buck. The real question is, how do we get these people? How do we get to these people? And how do we get them help before it turns violent? That's the real question right there. I mean, if you're willingly, hormonally, and surgically altering your body, that's a mental disorder. It is. And it has been considered that all the way up until about, 5 years ago or so? And if you're that unstable, you shouldn't have access to firearms. This isn't isolated. We've seen it in Nashville. We saw it in Colorado Springs. There's a growing pattern of radicalized individuals tied to the trans movement targeting Christians, children, and churches. And instead of addressing the root cause, we're told to stay quiet, not pray, and never ask any questions. I say enough of that, man. I mean, this is evil. These people are wicked. These people are of the devil. I mean, this was a deliberate, calculated attack on children inside of a sacred space. And the shooter took their own life, but not before leaving behind chilling signs of hate, even using a paper target with the face, with a face of Christ. I don't want to say the face because I'm going to show y'all this. Obviously, this isn't the face. And obviously, this isn't something that we should be doing, as believers of Christ. But I want to show this to you anyway. This freaking guy. These are some of the things that he had up, that he posted up, and it was also alongside a magazine that he said, hey, I want to I want to kill Donald Trump, scrawled across of it. I got to share some of these pictures with you guys, man. This one right here, where is your God? I mean, this dude was demented, man. Demented, to say the least. Demented. I mean, the sketches, mocking Christianity, and the crazy thing is that most of us aren't even bothering these people. We tend to steer clear from them. He had some bizarre references to the Joker, and phrases like, I'm a worker baby, and why so curious, all of this other kind of stuff. And it's crazy. And we can see that this particular individual was consumed by dark and twisted ideas. He was unstable, and obviously he was dangerous. And he was looking to lash out. And the writings apologized to family, admitted shame, and then they went out there and killed children in cold blood. And police confirmed it was a deliberate act of anti-Christian violence. Again, there were two young children, an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, who were killed in their pews. I mean, I can't even imagine the heartbreak that the parents are going through right now. Seriously, I can't even imagine it. I can't. Yet, as these facts emerge, the political establishment rushes to bury the truth. And the reality of it is this, man. If the shooter had been a conservative, if they were Christian, if they would have just been a straight white male, the media, they would never let it go. But because they identified as transgender, and the left is so pro transgender, and they're actually pro anti-Christian messages. I mean, hey, the narrative, is basically being memory holed at this point. The Minneapolis police chief even claimed there was no motive in the Catholic shooting. That's what they said. There was no motive. All the evidence, but there's no motive. I mean, these people are sick.
So the question was on a possible motive and a relationship to the church or to the school. I have no information to share on a motive other than saying, again, that there was some sort of manifesto that was timed to come out on YouTube. It's been taken down, and our investigators are going through that to try and develop a motive from that. Additionally, there are these 3 search warrants happening in residential locations, and we may very well, find more information or writings that could give some sense to that, but we don't have that now. And I cannot confirm a relationship between the suspect or his family and this church at this time, but that's obviously something we're looking very closely at.
No motive, huh? Seriously. Who was it? I can't remember who it was. I think Quincy said this dude needs to be fired. Yeah. Good luck with that. Not out there in that state. I'm sure the mayor told him, hey, you can't even say there was a motive. A lot of times these directives, they come from the top down when it comes to dealing with the police. When it comes to this type of stuff, this comes from the top down. But for this dude to get out there and say no motive, I mean, you got to be kidding me. This dude had all kinds of, anti-Christian, anti-God writings, all kinds. And that right there in itself doesn't give you some form of a motive. But hey, the left calls you crazy when you say that there might be a war against Christians, which is why it is time to stand up. I mean, this is a moment to stand up, man. First off, we got to pray for these families. We got to pray for the safety of the children all across this nation. School is just barely in session. We got to make sure that we keep these children lifted up in prayer, the teachers lifted up in prayer, the administrators, the security lifted up in prayer, because there are some crazy, evil, wicked, demented people out there that want to do harm to these young people, man, in a multitude of ways. We got to demand some action that they do a better job of protecting these children at school. I mean, this is something that just cannot continue to go on. We got to save the children and we got to protect our schools. Now, I've been saying this. I am not a proponent of public school. I think that you should get your kids out of public school, find a homeschooling cohort with a good teacher and some good parents that are raising good children that you can connect with, and you guys can, the children can learn, grow, and build together. And if you do that, you don't have to worry about sending your kids off to school and wondering if something like this is going to happen. On the flip side of that, if you're sending your kid to a, Christian private school or something along those lines, questions need to be asked about security. Questions need to be asked about security. What are y'all doing to make sure that the grounds, the facilities, and this students are safe? What are y'all doing? Questions got to, and I need good answers. We got to do everything that we can to make sure that we protect these children and protect our schools, man. And never let this kind of evil be swept up under the rug just because it happened to a group of people the left likes to denounce. We can't. We got to continue to stand up. A couple super chats I want to read real quick. Shout out to Hunter with the $10 super chat. Says, this is one of the many reasons why these politicians and Democrats are evil. The absolute lies she just spewed. Okay, I read that one out. Sorry about that. And I think I read that one. Okay, here we go. Hunter with the $10 super chat says, this was premeditated heavily as well. If you got a chance to watch the video, he had tons of examples of how much he hates Christians, a target of Jesus, blasphemous quotes, and much more. Thank you, Hunter. Shout out to Big Mo and Eyes with the $10 super chat says, read the books of recently deceased author David Horowitz. He laid out precisely how our nation has been turned on its head. Start with Dark Agenda, the war to destroy Christian America, 2019. I'm going to check that out. And shout out to Hunter with the $5 super chat says, the one thing that sickens me the most is the fact that he went after kids, defenseless, innocent kids. Yeah. But that's what they do. You know, they don't go into places where they believe that there will be pushback or where they believe that somebody will be armed and fire back. Nah, that's not what they do. They go to places where they assume there will be zero pushback. That's what they do. Shout out to Demon of Cybertron. $5 super chat says, I encourage people to learn and pack heat to save themselves and others. Don't let some politician tell you otherwise. They got security. Do you? Yeah. All of these politicians are rolling around with armed security. All of them. But they want to tell you not to do it. These people can kick rocks with no shoes and socks on. Seriously. Seriously. Yeah. LS, you're absolutely right. Says if the Second Amendment is done away with, the door will be open for totalitarianism. I can't even talk today. And I'm not going to try to say that with these braces and these daggone rubber bands. But you're absolutely right. Authoritarianism is real. And that's their goal. That's what they want. That is what they want. That is exactly what they want. And that's why every time something like this happens, they are that's where they go. Oh, we got to take the guns. We got to take the guns. We got to take the guns. That's exactly where they go. Shout out to LJ with the $2 super chat says, the gay agenda's main target is our children. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And with that being said, we're going to switch on. We're going to move on. Again, let's make sure that we keep, the families up there in Minneapolis, up in Minnesota, keep them lifted up in prayer. You have two families that are burying young people, 8 and a 10-year-old. And that should not be. That should not be. I want to move on because I want to talk about another story that's in the news or been in the news for a little bit since we've been, diving deep into this dangerous movement, that's messing with people's heads, turning them violent. I want to shift our focus on to Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X has been the poster child for gender bending, attention grabbing antics that are, part of the same toxic suit. So earlier this month, reports started coming out that this dude was caught wandering the streets of Los Angeles late at night in nothing but his underwear and some boots. Now, there's a video out there. I'm not showing that video. It's a hot daggone mess. I'm not. This particular zesty character here was caught walking the streets at night in his tidy whities, and some cowboy boots. I mean, this dude is obviously completely turned out. Completely turned out. Honestly, I'm not really sure what he is, FRK9. I'm not sure if I'm not really sure what he is, to be honest with you. I'm really not. But yeah, that character got caught with his tidy whities on, walking the streets at night, and some cowboy boots. Witnesses say that he was acting, erratically, even putting on a traffic cone. He put a traffic cone on his head. And, this led to the locals to call the police, out of his concern for his safety. So I want to get into this. Hold up. Is that it? Yeah. So I'm not even I'm not gonna show that, man. I'm not. I'm pretty much, I'm not gonna do it. But according to TMZ, when officers arrived on Ventura Boulevard, Lil Nas X, his real name is Montero Lamar Hill, he charged at him, leading to him being restrained, handcuffed, and hospitalized for a suspected overdose. But what looked like a bizarre celebrity moment, it escalated fast. The LA County District Attorney charged him with 3 felonies for battery on police officers and 1 for resisting an executive officer. His bail was set at $75,000. He pled not guilty, and if convicted, he faces over 10 years in prison. Now, this did happen out in California, so you know he's not going to do 10 years in prison. You already know. He'll probably get a good lawyer and plead out, you know, and he'll probably do some what do you call it? He'll probably do some probation, some community service, or something along those lines. That's probably what will happen. This is California. They're super soft on crime. Y'all know it. But this is a pretty precipitous fall, you know, for someone who once topped the charts with Old Town Road. I mean, his father has since asked fans to keep supporting him and praying for him as he challenges these, as he faces these challenges. Now, I'm not saying that someone isn't, you know, that someone that's lived a lifestyle like this can't repent. But this dude did that. And his father is asking for prayer. Prayer from who? And prayer to who and for what? I'm trying to get an understand. I just don't understand why these people want to live these evil, wicked lives, and then the parents want to act like they're supposed to pray for them. And pray to who for what? I really don't understand it. Again, I'm not saying that he can't repent. I'm not saying that. But he hasn't repented. He hasn't. At least as far as I know, anyway. So, yeah, what are we talking about? Seriously. What are we talking about? Really?
So, following the case of People versus Montero Hill, case number 25 VWCF0, led up to his arrest. I did not observe the arrest. So apparently
I would, Your Honor. Thank you.
okay, could I review?
I don't know what happened. I'm assuming.
Very remorseful for what happened. He's very remorseful for what happened. You know, but it can happen in any family. You know, he's going to get the help that he needs, and just keep him in your prayers. You know, give him the same grace and mercy that God give everyone.
Sir, what kind
That's
of help?
it.
Don't forget, he's 20.
Huh. So, as a condition of this guy's bail, Lil Nas X is now required to either attend Narcotics Anonymous meetings 4 times a week or enroll in a treatment program, which shows the court clearly believes substance abuse is an issue and it may have played a role in his situation. Now, according to his lawyer, it was the pressure of being a celebrity. That's what his lawyer said. It's the pressure of being a celebrity, not the wicked lifestyle that he's living, but of being a celebrity. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't.
26 years old. So it's not unusual for something like this to happen, particularly when you have the pressure of being recognized internationally like him. And so we're going to do our best to address these things. And the best way to do that is just get the team and surround him with a team of people. You can see how much his dad cares and his family cares. And we're just getting this like outpouring of love and support for him. It's really unbelievable.
Does he appear to be in emotional
Right
shape?
Anything you want to say?
Could you say his father's name one more time for us?
I can't really spell it out, but we'll get it. We'll get it to
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, so so they're blaming the weight of his fame. But Lil Nas X, you know, is really just a textbook case of how the alphabet agenda, gender ideology, leftism, and cultural excess it just pushes people to the edge of sanity. I mean, he feels less like an artist and more like a psyop rolled out with one kid-friendly hit, and then it was used to, or I will say not used, but weaponized by the powers that be to push a wicked agenda on our children. And in the end, you know, he's become a useful idiot for the devil. He has. This dude, hands down, in my opinion, he's up there as one of the biggest psyops of this decade. Because he had a lot of kids singing that Old Town Road song. And then all of a sudden, this dude came out as he's a part of the alphabet community. He already had a following of children. And then he went completely off the deep end. And some of you guys may say he sold his soul to the devil. And yeah, it for sure looks like it. And now, you know, you got, hey, gotta come home. You gotta pay. You know what I'm saying? As they say, the chickens have come home to roost. Shout out to Mark Patterson with the $5 super chat. Says, our only child got caught up in the trans ideology. She suffered from social anxiety. It has been soul crushing for our family. Please pray for her. Y'all make sure y'all keep Mark Patterson's daughter lifted up in prayer. And him and his family as well as they deal with this situation. It's sad, man. I hate to hear that, man. I hate to hear that. This dude has definitely become a useful idiot. Useful, willing idiot, willing participant. Willing. But the reality of it is hey man, this is pretty much what the ideology does to people, man. It really does. It reinforces the dangerous belief that others just have to accept your delusions. That, you know, they have to accept, you know, unhealthy behavior as healthy, which then creates a generation that lacks accountability. Because it's not you who's the problem, it's the world. We're not the sane ones. No, the world's crazy. Lil Nas X is speaking out for the first time since his arrest. I want you guys to hear what he had to say.
Girl, it's gonna be okay, y'all.
Wait, did he say your girl is going to be okay?
Your girl is gonna be okay, y'all. Okay? She's gonna be alright. She's gonna be alright. Shit.
I can't. I'm sorry, guys. What the heck, man? What the heck, man? Man, goodness gracious. Some would say that this person is definitely demon possessed or has a yeah. Some would say that. TA, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh Lord, TA, don't put that out there like that. We don't need to see that. We don't need to see that. He is a lost soul, man. Seriously. But like I said earlier, man, maybe it's time maybe it's time that we think about bringing mental health asylums back, man. You know, this is a grown man calling himself your girl. This is a grown man calling himself your girl. And this isn't just an act, man. It's a symptom of something deeper. People close to the situation says that, you know, this wasn't just a random meltdown. I mean, it was part of a larger mental health crisis. And they're right. But that crisis has been made worse by the very ideology that this Lil Nas X character promotes through his music. We don't talk enough, you know what I'm saying, about mental health, in the Black community. It's been pretty faux pas over the years, although it's starting to the conversations are starting to happen more and more, but it's been a pretty taboo conversation in the Black community for a long time. And to be honest with you, it's been pretty taboo in America as a whole. But the answer to the mental health crisis that we have in our country right now isn't to normalize folks' delusion. It isn't, man. We got to stand firm. We got to say, yeah, we hear you and I'm here for you. But then we got to actually give them some help. And we don't help by coddling or condoning. We help by confronting them with the truth. I mean, when you look at Lil Nas X's antics, twerking in a dress, simulating sex with the devil, now charging at police. I mean, these aren't isolated incidents. They're a result of a cultural narrative that says your feelings are your reality. And anyone who disagrees is the enemy. But when you build your identity on feelings instead of facts, when you add fame, drugs, and ideology to the mix, what you get is chaos. You get a man wandering the streets almost naked. You get a man that's, calling himself your girl. You get, a man that will attack the police officers. And you'll get someone who's completely detached from reality. And the left excuses this as art or expression. But what they're really doing is normalizing madness. They won't admit the root cause. They won't admit the root cause, which is an ideology that's abandoned truth, that's mocked God, and embraced, relativism, where nothing matters but a whim. Do as thou wilt. Whatever makes you feel good, do it. That's who they are, man. And to be honest with you, man, when you have these types of whims and they turn violent, and these folks still defend it because it fits their agenda. This is what happens when a generation is taught to reject absolute truth. We end up with shooters targeting kids in churches. We end up with celebrities spiraling into self-destruction. And the reality of it is that Lil Nas X's story, it isn't just sad, but it's a warning, but he isn't the only one. He isn't the only one. What was the singer, what's her name? Demi Lovato, who's, going from, woman to lesbian to, what does she call herself? Non-binary and all this other kind of stuff. She isn't the only one. You got the what's the little white girl, the singer, JoJo Sigma or whatever her name is, you know what I'm saying? And she had come out for a little bit. They pushed her, as, some non-binary or young lesbian woman. And although she was just a young pop star with a bunch of children, as her fans, they pushed her, so Lil Nas X isn't the only one. He's just the latest one to crash out. But he isn't the only one. This is a warning, man. This is a warning. This is a warning of what happens when ideology replaces reality and feelings replace facts. And John chapter 8, verse 32, it reminds us that you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And without truth, there is no freedom, only chaos. And it's sad how they've used people, JoJo Silva and Demi Lovato. And you look at what Justin Bieber looks like today. I mean, he's a shell of himself. You look at this Lil Nas X character. It seems like all of these young people are crashing out. Crashing out. Maga Tamara says, when the devil shows his face, believe him. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's sad, man. It's really sad. And even to this day, you still have parents trying to push their children into that industry, knowing the damage that it has caused, knowing the damage that it has done to young people or to people in general, young and old. It swallows them all up. They all can get it. It's sad, man. It used to be kept under the wraps. Now it's for everybody to see. Everybody knows. Shout out to Hunter with the $5 super chat. Says it's like I said yesterday. They have traded objective reality for subjective fantasies. Absolutely right. You're absolutely right, man. This is wild, man. It's wild what is going on, and they're utilizing these people to attack the children. Last but not least, I'm not done yet. I want to move on because I want to talk about a pastor, preacher. I don't even want to call him that. We're going to call him a fake man of God. I want to talk about this guy because there are entirely too many pastor, preachers, bishops, apostles out there who are doing a lot of wicked and evil things in the name of the Lord. I want to talk about it. I'm going to share this story and then we're going to get back. There's an article that I want to read, and shout out to my guy Hunter for sending this over to me. But yeah, we got to talk about it because it's right in line, because we can talk all of this stuff, you know, as believers and followers of Christ, but then we got people out here who are false teachers, and we got to call those people out as well. Those people got to be called out as well. All these false prophets and false teachers, they got to be called to the carpet as well.
A multi-state FBI investigation involving a church's forced labor and money laundering scheme. It's tied to the triangle. Sky 5 flew above a raid in Durham today. It's connected to the organization Kingdom of God Global Church, and they arrested this man, David Taylor, a self-proclaimed religious leader associated with the group. Taylor and another suspect are accused of getting people to work at call centers, soliciting donations, and then controlled every aspect of their lives, even abused them. WRL's Sean Gallagher is live in Durham. Sean, indictments show the organization at the center of this raised about $50 million in donations.
Yeah, Ashley, and it was all through that forced labor where they were calling for those donations. And that's all according to the FBI, who spent hours at this building here behind me pulling out evidence related to these crimes. And, you know, it doesn't really look like a building where you could expect a multi-million-dollar money laundering operation, but it's far from the only building investigated by the FBI across the country today. This isn't something this Durham resident expected to see outside of her home this morning.
I was scared. I was like, oh my God.
And it's not the first time she's felt that way about her neighbor. That's why she doesn't want us to use her name or show her face.
He was actually like a really suspicious man mostly at the time. I actually was just that little scared about him telling us about our little brother to be careful with him because something might happen to him because he supposedly had a vision or something because he was a pastor.
Visions are something David E. Taylor promotes on the Kingdom of God Global Church's website. A man who calls himself an apostle with claims to have seen God face to face, and photos showing off supposed miracles, helping people walk again and curing them of diseases. All the while, the FBI says he was allegedly forcing people to work in call centers across the country to amass tens of millions of dollars in wealth since 2014. Money they believe.
Look at how this dude is living. Look at this. $50 million taken. Look at this.
He laundered. The FBI raided this multi-million-dollar home in Florida and other locations in Texas, Michigan, and Missouri today. Federal indictments accuse Taylor and the church's executive director, Michelle Brannon, of forcing people to work in call centers in those states without paying them, with punishments for not reaching goals, like public humiliation, sleep deprivation, food and shelter restrictions, physical assaults, and more. Accusations Taylor is apparently very well aware of. On the church's website, he already has a 10,000-word letter to his followers, claiming these accusations are all lies, driven by racist hate against him. But his neighbor says she's always had suspicions.
Actually, when I told my sister, we were like, see, I knew it. He had done something.
And this isn't the first time Taylor has faced accusations, or rather criticism, for his finances. In 2022, he was sued for not paying some $2 million for a stage setup. And then back in 2014, he was deposed about how he spent money for the church after receiving a donation through some. He sits behind bars in a Durham County jail. In Durham, Sean Gallagher.
This is wild. Wild. Think about this, man. So I want to get into this real quick, and thank you, Hunter, for sending this over. This is from the Office of Public Affairs from the U.S. Department of Justice. Let's get into this press release real quick. So it says, two self-professed religious leaders who use physical and psychological abuse to coerce victims to solicit tens of millions in donations, federally charged and arrested. This came out August 27th. So this came out yesterday. This is fresh, hot off the presses. Hot off the presses. So it says that a federal grand jury in the Eastern District of Michigan returned a 10-count indictment against two defendants for their alleged role in a forced labor and money laundering conspiracy that victimized individuals in Michigan, Florida, Texas, and Missouri. Two defendants, David Taylor, 53, and Michelle Brannon, 56, were arrested in North Carolina and Florida in a nationwide takedown of their forced labor organization. I'm gonna keep going, but I gotta stop there for a second. Now, I know that money follows ministry. I know it. Money follows ministry. I know it. But there are entirely too many people out there who have not actually been called to lead or be the shepherd for God's people, but they use the Lord's name to profit and to deceive his people. There are entirely too many people out there like this. But the thing is that, and my challenge to you all is, y'all have to get in the word and study the word for yourself. So when these charlatans show themselves, because the word says you got to study it to show yourself approved. So you got to get into the word. You got to get into it for yourself. So therefore, when these charlatans show themselves to you, you can identify what it looks like. There are entirely too many people out there that are lost, looking for somebody to lead them, but they're not getting in the word for themselves. So they're easily misled. There are entirely too many people out there that go to church on Sunday, if they go, but never touch the Bible again until the following Sunday. Seriously. There are entirely too many people out there. Entirely too many people out there. And then they're upset when they are duped or deceived. But if you get into the word and then you also ask for discernment, I agree with you. I am from Noah. Ask the Lord for discernment. He will give it to you. See, a lot of people, if you know anything about Solomon, when the Lord asked Solomon, what do you want? He asked for wisdom. He could have asked for anything, but he asked for wisdom. I'm challenging you guys. Ask for wisdom. Ask for discernment. So you are not hoodwinked, bamboozled, and led astray by charlatans like these two characters. Seriously. There are too many people that are like sheep being led to the slaughter. Too many. And yeah, these people, they deserve to go to jail. They deserve to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But my challenge to you all, you know what I'm saying, as followers of Christ, is that, hey, this shouldn't even happen. Because if you're in your word the way you're supposed to, you know what I'm saying? If you're asking for discernment, if you're asking for wisdom, guidance, he'll show you that, hey, don't give your money to these people. Do not. Don't do it. So I want to scroll down. I want to scroll down just a little bit here. So the U.S. Attorney General says that we will use every lawful tool against human traffickers and seek justice for their victims. So let me scroll back up real quick. So it says they are combating human trafficking which is a top priority for the Department of Justice. And says that we are committed to relentlessly pursuing and ending this scourge and obtaining justice for the victim. Now, this indictment of David Taylor and Michelle Brennan demonstrates the FBI's steadfast efforts to protect Americans from people, to protect the American people from human exploitation and financial crimes, including forced labor, which essentially is almost a form of slavery, and money laundering. You know, and acting, and that's from acting specialist Ruben Coleman. So this guy is getting hit with money laundering. Money laundering is tax evasion in progress. I mean, come on, man. And people were giving this man millions upon millions of dollars. Millions upon millions of dollars. Now listen to this. It says that the KOGGC, JMMI, they received millions of dollars in donations each year through the call centers. Taylor and Brennan used much of the money to purchase luxury properties, luxury vehicles, and sporting equipment such as a boat, jet skis, and ATVs. In total, Taylor received approximately $50 million in donations dating back to 2014. $50 million in donations dating back to 2014. And they bought luxury homes, luxury vehicles. I'm sure he probably had a daggone Rolls Royce or something along those lines, nice Bentley or something. They out there buying boats, jet skis, ATVs, probably going on super flamboyant, flashy vacations, living it up. Living it up. Living it up on these people. Now, the defendant, David Taylor, he's going to appear on the indictment today out in Durham. Michelle Brennan, she's out in Tampa, Florida. And if they are convicted, now these are federal crimes, and you guys know federal government don't typically lose, but they're looking at conspiracy to commit forced labor, and that's up to 20 years of imprisonment and a $250,000 fine. Forced labor, up to 20 years of imprisonment and another $250,000 fine. Conspiracy to commit money laundering, up to 20 years imprisonment and a fine up to $500,000 or twice the value of the properties involved in the money laundering transactions. Yeah. This was a joint effort between the FBI and the IRS. Guys, man, y'all got to get some discernment about yourself. Seriously. Take care, Dr. Kyla. Shout out to Queen Chloe with the $20 super chat. Says, I'm inclined to wonder if the Democrats are mentally unstable too and blame guns, weapons instead of mental illness. And where was the social media monitoring triggering language? There had to be warning signs online. Yeah, good question. Good question. Where was it? There had to be. Shout out to LJ with the $2 super chat. Says, am I the only one cheering for the tribulation? I'm telling you, man, these braces are not working with me today. Goodness gracious. I think it's words with T in it that's getting me. Thank you, LJ. Shout out to Hunter with the $5 super chat. Says, it's like I said, they have traded objective reality for subjective fantasy. Thank you, Hunter. And shout out to Crystal from Crystal Beyond Labels with $10 super chat. Says, we are supposed to test the spirit, and the only way you can test the spirit is when you know who God is. Read your word and get to know God for yourself. Don't depend on people to know who God is. Absolutely. That's the problem, Crystal. There are entirely too many people out there that are looking at another man to facilitate their relationship with God. Entirely too many people, but they won't take the time to read the word and build their own relationship. Oh yeah. But I'm glad they caught this dude. I'm glad they caught him. You know, I'd like to see him go after a few more of these other, you know, pimp and pander and pastors out there. I'd like to see that happen more. But I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. We're going to be back at this thing tomorrow, Lord willing, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the ARP panel show. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Amethyst Angel with the $5 super chat says his butt getting whipped and tables flipped. He skipped that scripture. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, hey, they know there are a lot of gullible folks out there, man. There's a lot of gullible people out there. Yeah, entirely too many. God's people shouldn't be gullible, though. But I appreciate you guys pulling up, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today, man. It is Thursday, Friday Eve. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you got to work today, enjoy your rest of your work day. Lord willing, we'll be at this thing tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to it, man. We got a pretty good panel set up. So, you know, when we do those, it's always a good time. And we always have, it's always a pretty good show, you know, when we do those. So I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. Appreciate you guys pulling up as always. Shout out to my Blues. Shout out to you all. Thank you guys very much. Who else? My ARP family. Shout out to you all as well. Thank you guys very much for supporting me, supporting the channel, supporting what we're doing over here. And to everybody that supported the channel financially today, I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot, especially when we're having these types of conversations. Y'all know what it is when you're dealing with you. So I appreciate you guys supporting the channel this morning financially. Thank you guys very much. God bless you all. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. Hey, let's make sure that we keep the families, the children, the teachers, the administrators all across this country, you know, those families out there in Minneapolis, out there in Minnesota. Let's make sure that we continue to keep them lifted up in prayer. I appreciate you guys, man. God bless you all. We'll catch up with you all tomorrow. You guys take care. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp,